another hypocrisy, right? With ascension and modern day sciences. So I'm studying Kundalini, right? And, you know, looking at the yoni egg and stuff, you got to pay for a specialist to be a part of a particular community to even discuss certain things like that, you know, yoni eggs and things like that. And Shatipati yoga, female exercises for womb space and stuff like that, which is very holistic, very therapeutic, has lots of health benefits and stuff. Doing vaginal exercises and stuff, ancient breathing techniques and movements and stuff to help the womb space. It helps with fibroid cysts and you know, a lot of other things. If you don't know, so in saying that, it's so odd. Another funny thing. Imagine being a woman in advanced studies, doing your Kundalini exercises and your visualizations, and we all get spiritual gifts, and then trying to figure out if anybody can see the rainbow that's coming out of your booty. Like, who do you talk to about that? Hmm? Hmm? Forget it. Just forget about it like a passing thought, like the gas from the past that's coming out of your... Who do you talk to about that? About special gifts and female energy and life, being a life force being. Like, there's sometimes very odd things that happen that you might just want to let go. For years even, until you have to finally ask that question. Can you see the rainbow coming out my... No? Maybe you just think I'm crazy. Who out there can see auras? Huh? Huh? Some people can see auras and stuff. They have those that you could take the little picture in the photo booth, and then you have people that can actually see color and actually see auras and stuff and the light around people. You can see the light. Some people give off a lot of aura and a lot of light, and other people can see it. Some people, sometimes I catch flashes and stuff coming out of my hands and feet and stuff. So, like, I'm wondering, right? It's a legitimate question. We got all this Kundalini energy everywhere, but we're not allowed to talk about it. Do you see? And that's hilarious. So even in Ascension, where we're supposed to have chosen to grow, we find ourselves with those spaces where we know there's truth or not. In regards to areas we might want to grow regarding our sexuality and the way we interact with one another and the way that we value one another and the way that we value ourselves individually, so that our interactions with one another is more appropriate, more satisfying, more connectivity, more fractality. If I'm God, or if I'm God-like, or if I have Christ consciousness, and I'm bringing that to the table with others who have Christ consciousness and act in a godly way and conduct themselves in a godly manner, then what we build together and what we do together is going to be outstanding. Versus the notion that we're ungodly and putting that in the forefront of your mind and acting accordingly. That as a weight for spin. Taking that idea for a spin rather than the idea that you could be godlike or godly or carry Christ consciousness to be more elevated, versus to always think of how one is broken. When you take off the blindfold and you actually want to weigh things out and balance, it's a part of the accountability that we are naturally doing that sways the consciousness, which wasn't being doing, or wasn't being done, or couldn't be done because the gates weren't open. It's like a signal, something broke in the signal, and now things that we were doing every day for years, for generations, now easily, more of a majority of people are able to say, no, stop. Where are the fruits of this talk? Where are the fruits of this spiritual science? Where are the fruits? We see the talk. What direction was that going on? Oh, there's pedophilia, there's rape charges, there's brutality, there's theft. That's not the kind of, that fruit is in the other direction. So what we were looking for as a people is to make a frequency and a vibration that makes a sweet smelling smell and an aroma that's fit for God's, for God, for Christ frequency. And when it comes to fractality, even flowers, fresh flowers, chase away demons. They don't like them. Whether it be sacred geometry or the symbolism of life. Either way, people full of life. You know? So, I found that most interesting, is looking for the fruits from us. And see, it's just the time. Our behavior is changing. I'm watching our Creator spank that behind. Across the whole plane, people are being called out. In regards in the nature, see, there's places where you get into with the spiritual sciences where you're not going to fake the funk. There are things lurking, okay, waiting to size you up and measure you up according to your deeds. Places where you cannot hide. So they try to jump a ride. And they try to distort and bend the truth and try to put on the outfit. It's like being aware that the coffee pot can also be a teapot, can also boil an egg, can also heat up some soup, can also make a ready fix. Well, it's going to be a crock pot. What? If you hook it up right, you can get MacGyver with your coffee pot. Make a herbal remedy with your coffee pot. Distill water with your coffee pot if you rig it right. It's a matter of perception. So the lights are turning on and we're seeing the different values and we're seeing how we were used. Waking up and changing the way that we see each other is what is going to help with the COINTEL. This new wave that's going to come through. I'm told people will have to be more real in order to sustain the frequency. We'll make adjustments and changes as needed or have to fall back. Or make alliances, it'll be more apparent. That's what we need. I should hope so. Hope so. I keep seeing in my mind that part in the Bible where I think it was during the part of Revelations. I'm not sure. It's been so long since I read this part. But it was a story where it was a small community of God's people. And they went and together on business and on sharing everything, and one of them has stole and held back some goods or some money or something, and the Spirit of the Lord came through and just killed them, because it was a time when they weren't able to, the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of the Creator was still very much in their midst, and they made this pact. The more I read the books and stuff, this is a little side note, the more I realize the authority that we did have, that was taken. And a lot of it was like the mind control. The acknowledgement that something is, when you take the blinders off, like Lady Liberty, already does something in regards to consciousness. It changes so many things. When the lights come on, the little things scurry away. It doesn't mean that they don't exist anymore, but they make a space. Just like how they say certain spirits don't like, it's like harmonics, don't like flowers and don't like, is it the smell, is it the shape, is that it's alive, or, you know, the thing itself. So in regards to spiritual beings, some of us are like that little bug, like, you know, like the ha ha ha, you know, like medicine, okay? Just the frequency alone, the harmonics, you know, instead of doom and gloom, to rather be the ha 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 or the he he he. Okay. Much love to you and yours.